Hi, I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. This is just going to be a video about what my channel is going to be about and a little bit about me as well. This channel is going to be about one of my hobbies, which is miniature wargaming. My other hobby is hunting. There will be no hunting videos on this channel, just out of respect to those that do not like that activity and are not interested in it. I will keep the two hobbies separate, so that way we can all enjoy the miniature wargaming content that we all try to share with each other, ideas, battle reports, whatever the case may be, without any outside interference with other interests. I think that's important as a community. So, that being said, my current project is 28mm World War II bolt action by Warlord Games. My current armies that I'm working on are a U.S. infantry squad with some vehicles and tank, and also opposing forces German infantry. I am currently painting up, adding little bits and pieces to that army or to those armies as we speak, terrain-wise as well. So that's where I'm at now. In the near future, I'll be adding U.S. Marines and Japanese infantry to that as well. World War II has always been something that's interested me ever since I was a little kid. And the Pacific War is something that's always interested me as well. That and the focus of what my European conflict is going to be with my U.S. infantry and German forces are going to be the invasion of Normandy and the period right around that time frame. Battle of the Bulge is something else that really interests me, but that is going to be a project that's going to be way in the future. I have too many other things that I want to wrap up without spreading myself too thin. That being said, the other periods that I have gamed or do game or have collections for, just working backwards, I've been doing this hobby maybe about 12 years, 10 or 12 years, with a break in there of a couple years. The period that I was gaming prior to this was 20mm moderns. So I have a collection of U.S. Marines as well as, well, to explain the opposing forces for the U.S. Marines. I created or am creating a fictionalized conflict, which is kind of turning into a non-fictionalized conflict. Think of the movie Black Hawk Down and the conflict in Somalia back in 1993 with the U.S. So it'd be part 2 to that, basically. And we all know the real world situation that is going on in that area and how it's parts of it may not be fictionalized anymore. That was something I started a while ago. So I have U.S. Marines, I have some SEAL Team figures, some Delta Force figures. So opposing forces would be Somalian gunmen, some technicals. I also have vehicles for the Marines and helicopters, of course, as well. Some insurgents also, and some civilians to throw in the mix. So that's something that's kind of been put on hold for now, while the 28mm World War II gaming bug has bitten me. Prior to that, what got me into this hobby was 20mm Vietnam conflict that the U.S. had in the 60s and early 70s. For whatever reason, that's a period in conflict that's interested me since my teenage years, I guess, early teenage years. And it's what got me into the hobby later in life. Primarily, my focus is infantry. You will see that with all the periods that I game. I focus primarily on infantry combat with very little vehicles. It's just the thing that I like. to focus on his infantry. I know a lot of folks like to focus on the vehicles and the tanks and all that stuff. So it's a little bit different for me. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I do mostly in my gaming solo. I do this hobby on my own, just for the simple fact I don't have anybody close that I can game with. I would basically have to pack up my stuff, drive an hour one way to hopefully game with somebody at a gaming club. And that's not something that's going to happen very often, if at all. What to expect from this channel? Do not expect painting tutorials. I am not a good painter. I wouldn't do it justice, and I wouldn't be helping you guys any, I don't feel, in that area. I'm kind of okay at terrain making, so I won't do a whole lot of tutorials. What I might do is just present ideas of how I do something, not with the mindset of this is how you should do it, just as the mindset of this is an idea, this is how I do it, run with it, tweak it as you need. So that's going to be the channel in a nutshell. If you guys ever have ideas, questions, comments, let me know. If you're coming across this and you subscribe to my channel, thank you. Big thank you to all the folks that have already subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it more than you know. It means a lot. Just don't be shy. I want to use this as a platform to communicate with others in the community that I would never meet. I have some subscribers over over in Europe, which is awesome. This is something that 10 years ago or whatever the case may be wouldn't have happened. So let's all take advantage of it. We're in a good time right now where we can share our hobby with people we would never get to share with it before. That being said, I do tend to ramble, if you haven't figured that out yet. So get used to that. You'll see that in my videos a lot. But to wrap this up, I will always try to wrap my videos up by saying this: be good to each other. The wargaming hobby is something that's really can be misunderstood by people outside of the hobby. And the unfortunate thing is I do see people in our hobby that are very critical of others. I ask that we all reflect on that and not do that, just for the simple fact that we have a lot of people that are coming into the hobby that may not be knowledgeable or as knowledgeable as yourself or others. The way to learn is to ask, and unfortunately sometimes people are afraid to ask because they're afraid of what might be said. So please keep that in mind, and I hope that everybody does that in this hobby, because it's hard enough being in a hobby a lot of people don't understand. So be kind to each other. That's what I mean when I say that. Be supportive and help people. You never know if this is the first time person or somebody's trying a new period. They're not going to be an expert. They don't have to be an expert to enjoy the game or enjoy the period. So just take it easy on them. Enjoy the hobby. It's important. It's a hobby. Enjoy it. Don't make it a chore. And the last thing that I will always tell you guys is happy hobby time. Because once again, this is a hobby. We should all enjoy it. If you find yourself getting burned out, set it aside for a little bit, and then be fresh to come back to it. So that being said, thank you for taking the time to watch this and my other videos. I hope to speak with some of you via comments or email or whatever the case may be. So take care of everybody. Be good to each other, like I said earlier, and happy gaming and happy hobby time. Thank you.